Hello, it's your girl Taylor from Got You Aesthetics, and today I thought I'd do a video on customer service since I have over 10 years of experience from serving, bartending, aesthetics, and sales. So let's get into it. So anyone can get into customer service, but not everyone is going to excel. So that is why I'm doing this video today of how to go above and beyond for your customers and make sure everyone's having a wonderful experience. So like a comedian, you want to know your audience. So that means when you first look at your client, you want to get a good understanding of kind of who they are. You always want to be yourself, but you also want to make the customer comfortable. So you may have to be a little bit more subdued if they're a little bit more professional and they are a little bit more, held back. If people are a little bit more robust, then you can bring out the more robust and fun part of your personality. And like, if you're relating this to aesthetics, you don't want to be talking during a facial or a massage. But if your client keeps initiating conversation, you want to keep the conversation going because that might make them feel more comfortable. Maybe they're not comfortable with being touched by different people and stuff like that, or having their eyes closed the whole time. So you want to kind of read the scenario and adapt so that they feel the most comfortable. But I am going to go back to the facial. If you would like, it's always a good idea to ask the client at the beginning of the facial if they want a more relaxing experience, meaning more silent, or if they are interested in the products that you are using on their skin, if they want to know more about their skin type, or if they want feedback on some suggestions of how to help their skin throughout the service. So if you ask that initially, then you'll kind of get an understanding in that retrospect too, and you're giving the client what they want. Now, my next point is still on the same topic of understanding your client and the conversations you're having with them, and that is recovery. Because every once in a while, we're gonna misread a person or a situation, whatever the circumstance, but you always have time to recover. So make sure you're paying attention to body language, verbal responses, facial expressions after you say things, and trying to understand a person. So if you think someone, like, you never want to talk about religion, politics, all that kind of stuff, but sometimes it will get brought up in conversation. They'll say, let's say they're actually a Trump supporter, but they said something that sounds like they weren't, so you rebuttal with the same kind of vibe, and then you realize after that it's actually opposite. You can rebuttal from that, you can recover, just give it time and find other ways to kind of like make it work together. It's a little bit of a way to get used to, but don't give up and just be silent for the whole rest of the time. If you're serving a person, doing sales or aesthetics, try to recover. Don't just let it sizzle and die. There is room for recovery. So like I said, anyone can do customer service, but not everyone will go above and beyond. And what I mean in that context, and I'll relate this to aesthetics and I'll also relate this to serving, because these are the two that are like the most close to my heart. So as an example, we'll start off with aesthetics. If you're doing a massage and the client asks for more pressure, what you're going to do is to go above and beyond, is that you're going to try your best to apply more pressure for your individual. Whether that be lowering the massage table and using more of your body weight for the massage, or using more of your elbows, using more of you can use your wrists, you can use knuckling to kind of increase that feeling of pressure. And after the whole experience too, you can ask them, oh, how was it? See your feedback, see what worked in the situation. And even if it wasn't enough pressure, even though that you've tried, most of the time they're gonna really appreciate that you've tried. Because yes, we are not massage therapists, but we wanna try to give the customer the best experience we can. And then we'll also go on to serving. So for serving, it can be crazy sometimes. Sometimes you won't have a break. That's the sacrifice that you'll do for serving. And also, if your section's like crazy far apart, like there's 40 feet in between your section from one side to another, like I will sometimes sprint depending on the circumstance. Like that will be the sacrifice, and the sacrifice of trying your best to make your client happy. Sometimes I'll get a client a shot to kind of improve their mood if they're feeling a little down. You know, it's about going above and beyond and making their experience a fun and extravagant experience. So we're gonna talk about conflict resolution, since this is something that you will be dealing with a lot when you're doing customer service. So let's have an example. You'll always want to start off, the nicest way, because if you start off like guns a-blazing, then normally people will react in an aggressive manner, because people will react with the energy that you feed them back with, right? Normally. So you always want to start off the nicest possible way, and you just slowly get more strict with every time you have to intervene. And then that's also you kind of understanding who this person is and what they need and what they're trying to do at the same time. And there's different levels of conflict resolution as well. Like, let's say you messed up on something, then you're gonna want to figure out a way to help out in that situation. So it's like, you nipped somebody in a manicure or pedicure, so then you suggest, hey, I'll throw on a little daisy on your nail for nail art, so sorry about that. Or if you're running your own business, you can give them a discount, or you can ask your boss if they can get a discount for some reason like that. And then for serving, same thing. You get them the wrong drink, you can fix that. If someone's doing something that you don't want, I normally start off with playful and ask them to please don't do that sort of situation. Normally that will always fix it. If you're just nice about it, tell them, hey, actually we don't allow that here, please stop. That's normally all you need to do. And then the next time you would go in with a little bit more seriousness, because if they're doing it again, maybe they feel like you don't take it that seriously and that it shouldn't be that enforced. So you go back again and you're like, no, actually I am serious about this, so please stop doing that kind of situation. And then you keep going. So then you have to go back again, being a little bit more stern, but normally the first 2 times really resolves it for me. But then you go in being a little bit more stern, and then the last that you don't normally want to do, but you'll get the manager if you feel like you cannot figure it out yourself, or someone with more authority in your position if you cannot make the resolution yourself. Okay, so it's obviously a different day, but there was a few more things I wanted to add. So one thing would be, when you are looking to give excellent customer service, you want to make sure that you're living up to your own standards. So if you're going to get a service done at a spa, you want, like, let's say if you're getting a facial, you want that right amount of pressure on your face so you're getting the full relaxing experience. You want your esthetician to know what she is doing to your face, so you want her to, and it'll make you want to do some more like research and stuff like that to help provide better services for your clients. If people want like if you want firmer massage when you go get massages, give firmer massages when you give massages. If you're doing a manicure, make sure that polish is on point. Don't be willy-nilly about it. If you're serving, make sure that you're making sure that everyone's waters are kept full, their Pepsis are getting refilled when they get free refills. If they're drinking alcoholic beverages, make sure that if there's like a quarter left, ask them if they need another. If they're ordering a meal and they're getting some appies mixed with the meal, ask them, make sure if they want appetizers, come as appetizers or all together. If people walk into either the spa or a restaurant, you want to make sure that they're greeted right away, either giving menus or you're confirming with the client at a spa what services they're here for. And then another thing to think about too is, what are you looking for in an establishment? Whether it be aesthetics or it be a restaurant, you want to make sure that the bathrooms are clean and they look presentable, because that's a really good indicator of how much respect your staff has for the establishment, and wondering if the bathrooms are disgusting, how does the kitchen look? How does behind the bar look? How does this look? How does that look? You know, it gets people thinking, and you don't want to get people thinking negatively, because you know, that starts getting, you know, not good and bad kind of karma. So you want to keep up with that, because like I know if I'm going out, I don't want it to be like filthy, right? So that's another thing to be thinking about. Also, like, how do you want your person to talk to you in that retrospect as well? You want them to be empathetic, whether it be you're getting a facial, you have skin concerns. You don't want your esthetician to be calling you crater face and all that kind of stuff. You want your esthetician to be empathetic. You want her to like take into your concerns, listen to you fully so she can fully recommend you the proper products and usages and all that kind of fun stuff as well. So listening to your clients, very important, whether it be serving, aesthetics, or any job. They need to be heard so that you can do what they need you to do. Because every person is looking for something else out of a service. Even though it's the same service, you got to give them their own specialized service. Now another thing would be, don't take things too personally. So that works for, like, let's say in serving, if some people get inebriated. I know I've had one girl just going off at me once because I was putting shots on a tray with a little napkin so that they wouldn't move, so it's easier for me to give the shots to the table, saying how bad it is for the environment, yelling in my face. But I'm just asking her, okay, so I get it, thank you, I will not do that for your shots anymore. And what is your next drink order though, babe? You know what I mean? Like, just don't let that phase you. Like, people are like either going through a bad day, or maybe they're getting a little tipsy and they're getting a little mean, whatever. Like, we've all been there. I guess the only thing I can think about for estheticians about not taking things personally is basically when you're first starting out as an apprentice, and if people are kind of upset because you're still refining your skills and they're not as good as a more advanced esthetician, don't take things personally, but take that as a creative, like creative criticism. What is that called? Constructive criticism, because criticism is the word. So take that as constructive criticism and apply it to your work. And I know sometimes it will be hard because people will be mean, but you know, if you don't know people, they cannot really be empathetic with you, and they also have their own idea of what they get from a service. And that also goes for serving. When you're a new server, don't be afraid to tell people that you're new and try to figure out how to make something better if you were not able to like keep up or anything like that. You know, there's ways to fix situations for that and to still make the customer happy after. And I think the most important thing about customer service is being yourself, and also just enjoying what you do. Because if you're working 85% of your life, you gotta enjoy what you do. So if you're having fun and giving everyone a good experience, they're gonna also appreciate that as well. So I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Like if you liked the video, and subscribe if you wanna see more.